think I got it now. All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody, in particular the Red semester, who's waiting anxiously in front of me. Welcome, Red Sheepies. Welcome to those who are here to support you, some of whom I recognize from the plane ride this afternoon. And welcome to those who are watching the broadcast of this event. It's great to have all of you participating. For those who don't know, my name is Rob Gilbert. I have the privilege of serving as Dean at RUSVM, and it's a great pleasure to welcome all of you here this evening. I have just a few comments before I sit down. The first is probably not what you want to hear, but it is truly, it doesn't matter where you go for clinics. I know that the great anticipation is figuring out where it will be. But wherever it is, you will have an excellent education. Every option is a AVMA accredited school with excellent opportunities for everybody. Don't get caught in prematurely thinking that this is going to dictate the direction of your career or limit the opportunities in your career. That's just not true. Your role in the next year after you leave us is cementing those basic skills, and then you can go on and become a famous equine surgeon or whatever it is that you harbor as an ambition. Going to a school because they have a great equine surgeon, for example, is just a misidentified emphasis. That great surgeon you probably will never see. He or she is busy training residents in doing research, and you will see more of his residents than you will of the great surgeon. That's for when you're a resident, and that's when you'll benefit from the wisdom of those people. One of my friends is probably the leading expert on marine mammals in North America, and he graduated from the University of Illinois, about as far from the ocean as you can possibly get. And it doesn't matter, okay? You'll get a great education, and it'll lay the foundation for wherever you want to go and whatever you want to do after that. So the next thing is to say, you've got this, right? There's a lot of nervous anticipation about going to clinics. There's a lot of imposter syndrome, and none of it is necessary. You've got it. We have now sent over 8,000 students for clinical training in different places around the world, and we know what it takes to succeed, and we know you've got what it takes to succeed. So banish that imposter syndrome. It is true, when you arrive in September, you're going to encounter your new classmates who've been in clinics for some months already, and you still figuring out where the bathroom is. Don't worry, you will be fine. You will flourish and overcome that, and our experience with thousands of students before you tells us that that's true. I know that you have the skills and knowledge that you need to flourish. Really confident of that. We have a very, very tiny number of students who don't succeed in clinics. And of those tiny number, a very tiny number of them fail because of some lack of skill or knowledge. That's not the problem. All it takes to really do well in your clinics is to show up on time with a smile and a good attitude, and that will get you 90% of the way there. The only thing I would say in addition to that is don't be shy, speak up. If you have a question in rounds and you're 70% sure, say it. And the chances are you're right, and you'll feel good about it. And if you're wrong, the professor will be happy anyway, because it gives a starting point for the conversation, and nobody expects you to know everything. You're still students, you're still learning, you're there to learn. Saying something wrong is just an opportunity to learn again, right? So be confident in what you know, because you do have it. And finally, remember that you're Rossies. When you graduate after another year, you'll get a diploma, and become alumni of Ross University. I'm confident you'll represent us well. So good luck, and remember, it doesn't matter. I would like to introduce Dr. Larry Batanz, who's the Master of Ceremonies for this evening, and who will introduce the other people who will be making comments. And have a great evening. I hope you have a choice that makes you super happy. If you don't, it doesn't matter.
So good evening, red sheepies. So I just have to ask the question. I know you didn't have much choice with your class cover red, but where on earth did you get sheepies from? Doctor Who? Oh, because I mean, who voted for sheepies? I mean, that's kind of a classic, I don't want to get political here, but that's kind of a classic case of voter interference there. Anyway, once again, I want to thank family and friends here and online joining us at the 7th semester clinical placement ceremony. We appreciate you supporting our students. Not quite 40 years ago, a friend of mine actually went to vet school right here at Ross University. It was much, much smaller than, probably less than a quarter of the size it is now, completed the preclinical curriculum, and then getting ready to go to clinics. And back then, there was only one clinical affiliate, so there were no potential options. But what my friend learned going through clinics, it had nothing to do with what clinic or affiliate that you attended. It had everything to do with what you put into clinics. And many of you might not know this, but that friend is me. And just a few words of advice for y'all. And I'm just going to reiterate what Dr. Gilbert has said. Very important. Show up early and on time for each of your rotations. Be the last one to leave your rotation. Be responsible for every case that you're in charge of. Come with a great attitude and be professional every single time you're in the clinic. That will carry you a long way in clinics, and I'm sure all of you will be successful in your clinical education. So, here tonight to sponsor this evening's event is Banfield Pet Hospital. Banfield Pet Hospital was founded in Portland, Oregon in 1955, and today is a pioneer in preventive veterinary care with more than 1,000 general veterinary hospitals in 42 states, Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and Mexico. Every year, Banfield's veterinary team provides high-quality veterinary care to over 3 million pets, including more than 2 million Optimum Wellness Plan clients. As part of the Mars Veterinary Health family of practices, Banfield's more than 19,000 associates nationwide are committed to positively impacting society through the Banfield Gives Back program and advancing veterinary medicine in service of their purpose. A better world for pets, because pets make a better world for us. Dr. Roxanne Suarez is the veterinary chief of staff at Banfield Pet Hospital. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in biology from Hartwick College and a Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree from Ross University. And she did her clinical rotations at Louisiana State University School of Veterinary Medicine. She is a member of the New York State Veterinary Medical Society Committee for Leadership Advancement and chair of the New York State Veterinary Medical Society Well-Being Committee and is a graduate of the Power of 10 program. She has 13 years of experience in small animal internal medicine and surgery, where she started as a veterinary associate at Banfield Pet Hospital and then became a chief of staff. She has coached numerous new graduates as well as senior veterinarians in small animal internal medicine, community practice, soft tissue surgeries, client communication, and conflict management. She has traveled among sister hospitals that have opportunities with their quality of medicine and financials to help develop a culture of quality within their teams. Her starting hospital was a 2-doctor practice, and it is now a highly performing 4-doctor practice. She is now in a practice that was originally a 2-doctor practice and is now a 5-doctor practice. Please help me welcome one of your own, Dr. Roxanne Suarez.
Bring it down, I'm a little short. Well, good evening, class of 2026, Red Sheepies. I thought that was a funny name too, but I wore red for you guys. I don't have anything sheepy on me though. But thanks for having me. It's an honor to be able to speak at your clinical placement ceremony, and also thanks for the Red Sheepy parents and family and friends for being here for your children for this event. So when I was thinking about what to say to everyone today, I was going through all and reminiscing about my time on island when I was here, and reminiscing about the good, the bad and the ugly. And I was thinking, what can I say to you guys that may help you distinguish yourselves? And the biggest thing that came to my head was Rossi resiliency. And I know once I say that, sometimes I get the roll of the eyes, and over the years, I feel like that phrase has sometimes developed a negative connotation, or students feel like you're just being put through the ringer to get that resiliency. How much can you take before you crack, right? But I want to say it's way more than that, and it's not that. So a little background, little study lesson of what actually is resiliency. If you're talking about a substance, it's the ability of a substance or object to spring back into shape, having elasticity, like a rubber band, right? You stretch it, and it goes back. When you're speaking about an individual, it's the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties, right? It's more about your cognitive and emotional flexibility. It's your renewable strength that lies within you that allows you to weather the difficulties and challenges that you encounter. Basically, how you overcome obstacles. So everyone has resiliency. Everyone is born with it. It's just how it grows and how you foster that resiliency. So I was just thinking about how I was in vet school, and even before you get to vet school, think about all the times that you were faced with something and it made you stronger, made you more resilient, right? You were an undergrad and probably like organic chemistry, right? That stretched you, right? You got over it, you learned a different way to study, you got past it. Getting into vet school, maybe Ross University wasn't your first choice and you received, no, and doors closed, and you were resilient and you were able to I'm gonna leave my home, my country, and go to a different place, and not only study, now you are learning to live in a different country and embrace that country's culture. That stressed you, alone greatly. And then I think about the funny times where I got chased by centipedes. There was recently was it the meme, and I don't know if you followed the Facebook or RUSVM, you saw that guy picking up that huge centipede. It brought chills back to me. And I remember, back in my days, we still had textbooks. They would give us this nutrition textbook, which was the size of 2 of Fossum surgery textbook, if you know it. I don't know if you guys know how big, that's pretty big textbook. And it was chasing me, and we would take our nutrition textbook and drop it on the floor and stomp on it. So I don't know, I think now you guys use BOP and put a flame to it. But, and I don't condone, so they'll invite me back. I do not condone putting fire in your houses or anything. And I saw how just recently, that storm brought down a weight-bearing wall on some students, housing, right? And I just saw on there, the resiliency of you guys just banding together and helping one another, to help your fellow classmates while you're studying and dealing with block exams. I didn't have the honor of having block exams. Thank you. But that stretches you, right? Every day, you get through it. You help your fellow classmates out, and it's the way that you guys adapt. Right? You're viewing challenges and failures as opportunities to grow and learn. So remember that. It's the way that you perceive, process, and attach meaning to events is typically more critical than the actual nature of the actual event itself. So how do you build your resiliency? As you know, keep your connections, right? The connections that you made with your friends and your peers here, they're gonna last forever. I'm 15 plus, I'm gonna age myself years out, and I still speak to my classmates, all the time, through whether it's text, etc. See how we've all grown throughout the years and, what we're doing. Be flexible and adapt. You guys know that better than anything. You're right, you're already in 6th semester, you're gonna go to your clinical placement, and I know imposter syndrome is real. It doesn't end. I'm not gonna say my age. I still have imposter syndrome when it comes to, certain situations, but it's viewing those opportunities as a chance to grow yourself, and don't talk, down, to yourself. Instead of saying that you don't belong here, or you don't have a seat at that table, believe that you do. Remember that you are going to graduate from AVMA accredited university. Not only an AVMA accredited university, that is an advanced program that some of your other counterparts have not experienced. And you're doing that all with grace, and resiliency. Remember your why, okay? When it comes down, it's gonna be times where you're like, why did I even do this? You're gonna be even at the end and still thinking that. Remember your why and your passion and why you love animals and why you want to become a veterinarian, okay? I still do to this day. And self-care, right? Everyone's self-care is different. I'm a big to-do list person. I like to check off the boxes. And one of my mentors told me, don't forget to put a box there, Roxanne, that says self-care, right? It's not just about taking a shower and eating and sleeping. Yes, that's part of your self-care, but what are the things that you also like to do? I'm a runner. I like to go run or read a book or whatever it is that you like to do. Make sure that's part of your to-do list. And I will be short. Oh, I wanted to say this story. I was just speaking to one of my externs. She's a Rossi. She actually just graduated, and she did an externship in one of my hospitals. And I was just calling her to see how things were, how were her clinics, and she was telling me all the stories, etc. And she said to me that stood in my brain was, Dr. Suarez, Rossi resilience, it's a thing. And I was like, oh, really? So I was right. And so I just want to leave you with that, is when you're down and out and you're thinking about everything, just remember that you're the Red Sheepies, class of 2026, and Ross Resilience, it's a thing. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Suarez. You guys have all been staring intensely at your envelopes. And I don't know if you've heard this from previous semesters, but it's true. There's a tiny little square device that we place in every envelope. It's a stare detecting device. And if you stare at your envelopes long enough, it's programmed to change your affiliate. So stop staring. All right. Our next speaker this evening is Dr. Aaron Burton. Dr. Burton is a Senior Associate Dean for Academic and Student Affairs at the University of Minnesota College of Veterinary Medicine. In addition to her administrative role, she is a board-certified clinical pathologist in the Veterinary Medical Center and serves as the head parasitologist for the Veterinary Diagnostic Laboratory. Dr. Burton earned her DVM degree from Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine and completed her clinical year at the University of Minnesota. She then completed a residency in clinical pathology at the University of Missouri, where she also earned a master's degree in biomedical sciences and a graduate degree in public health. Her MS research focused on the microbiome, and she was the first to characterize the urinary microbiome of dogs. This work advanced our understanding of host microbe interactions and challenged the long-standing belief that the urinary bladder is a sterile environment. As Associate Dean, Dr. Burton leads a top 15 internationally ranked DVM program as recognized by the 2024 Shanghai rankings. She oversees curricular development, accreditation, academic operations, and student support. She is a national advocate for competency-based education and the spectrum of care model, which prepares students to deliver individualized, high-quality care in real-world settings. Dr. Burton is known for her thoughtful, student-focused leadership and her ability to translate big ideas into action. If pressed to name a favorite parasite, she will proudly say, Amblyomma americanum, the lone star tick, a perfect predator and a vector for Cytoxone felis, a disease close to her heart thanks to her adopted feline survivor, Lucy, from her time in Missouri. Please help me welcome Dr. Erin Burton.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you to those that are joining virtually, and I see there's so many parents in the room or friends and families, VIPs here today. My family is actually joining me virtually too, so hi, Mom and Dad. I was just kind of reflecting on the last couple speakers, and I just want to say, as someone who's an invited speaker, if you want to hear about imposter phenomenon, like as I look right here, like you in the blue with the really nice hair, that's where I failed my first immunology exam. So. And I'm still here, I'm doing okay. But it is such an honor to be here with you today, not just as your placement speaker, as a fellow Rossi. As Dr. Behan said, I'm a proud graduate of the class of 2012. And you may or may not know this, but the class of 2012, January class of 2012, was the original purple class. We didn't have animals at that time, but we were the first ever purple class. Previously, the color was white, which that just means surrender, and we were not surrendering. And so just last week, I welcomed my 9th group of Rossis to the University of Minnesota, where I now serve as the Associate Dean for Academic and Student Affairs. And where I think it kind of really gets interesting is that my roommate who went to clinics with me, Chad Harris, he texted me that day and said, oh my gosh, Erin, can you believe it? 14 years ago today, we started at the University of Minnesota. He's from Texas, I was from Arizona, so neither one of us had coats, but we do now. And I said to him, can you believe it or not, but today is the exact same day that I'm welcoming the purple class to the University of Minnesota. And so it just felt like a huge full circle moment, and today is another one. There's not enough of you smiling in this room. This ceremony is super cool. We had something called a transition ceremony. I wasn't exactly sure what I was transitioning to, but I think the placement ceremony is definitely the way to go. So you're finding out where you're going to complete your clinical year, and you may have a mix of excitement, relief, potentially a little panic. And if you're having any of those feelings, you are in the right place. That is totally normal, and that is exactly how I felt. When I think back to my own journey, I have to admit, I didn't come to Ross as cool, calm, confident, or eager. I came here apprehensive, and probably more accurately, if you were to ask my mom, who said, it would be okay, Erin, if you decided to just turn around, no one would judge you or ever know. But I came here kicking and screaming. I had left my home, the one that I'd always known. I went to Arizona State for undergrad, so I didn't go far from my parents. I didn't know a single soul when I got here, and everything felt really overwhelming, especially since I could not find Dr. Pepper on the island. But then, like you probably realize since I'm standing here in front of you today, is that There's so many things that changed for me. I made lifelong friends. I found a routine. I figured out where to buy groceries and learned that Best Buy was not for electronics, it was for groceries. Which buddy spots had decent coffee, and more importantly, which one had air conditioning, especially when the power went out. And I learned not just medicine, but who I was and exactly what I was capable of. And by the time I left the island, I honestly couldn't believe it was over. It went by in a blink of an eye. And if you ask Dr. Amy Beyer-Schmidt, who had to drag me back to the airport kicking and screaming, she couldn't believe it was over either. So the place I had come to, and in such a place of hesitancy, had become my home. I'd found my people, I found my rhythm, which was a little bit more reggae than country, and I'd started to become the kind of doctor that I wanted to be. Clinics were some of my most challenging, but also some of the most rewarding times of my life. But everything that I did here and I learned here on this island prepared me for it, not just the stuff that I learned at school. The RUSVM, and I know many of you are like, oh God, the RUSVM. I just want you to know I'm a pathologist and parasitologist, and if asked to spay a sweatshirt, I could do it. So I still can do it, and I spayed my own cat in my cytoxone study, and that's another wild story. Soaping my donkey and sheep, which we named after the dean at the time. Navigating unexpected police checkpoints when I was already late, as always. The power outages, the full moon parties at Shipwreck. It made me more prepared, more capable, and a stronger, more resilient student and now doctor. And so something that I really wanted to share and hope that you guys can hear, I know Dr. Gilbert talked a little about this, but it's not where you go for clinics. You will get an incredible education no matter where you land, especially if you land in Minnesota, obviously. But what matters more than the university is where you're placed at, is you. You will the one that will shape your experience, the effort you put in, the attitude you bring, and the relationships you build. That's what really makes the difference. And that was the one thing that I learned when I went to Minnesota, aside from buying a warm coat. And that brings me what I was hoping to emphasize today, and something that I tell my own students, is that don't lose your community, and what you've built here is so special. Sure, you'll be scattered across different schools, hospitals, cities, potentially the world, countries. Some of you will have the opportunity to be back close to your family again. Others may be farther than ever before. But you don't have to go through this next step alone. Keep texting your Ross friends. They'll become people that you'll have for life. Keep sharing your cases with your friends. Remember that every day that you see a case is an opportunity to study for the NAVLE, and that you have something that's so unique that your stateside school friends will not have, is that you are scattered all throughout the world. So imagine the diversity of cases you're going to be able to share with each other as you would study for that experience. That was something that I found to be so useful when I was studying for NAVLE. Is I had a friend who was at Missouri who would text me incredible infectious disease case questions from her day, and I would text her all of the oncology questions. So please keep being a team even across the miles. And remember, your new clinical school classmates are also going through transitions too. This is new for them as well. In many cases, their own core group of friends may be split up by rotations, cities, even countries as they navigate their last and final year as well. So they're often looking for new people to connect with, just like you are. So be the one that reaches out. Start the group chat with them. Set up those TikToks. I don't have TikTok, sorry, I'm old. Invite someone to a coffee after rounds. Celebrate the wins and laugh at the chaos, because I promise there's going to be a lot of chaos, and that's the best part. Just help keep each other going no matter where you are. Veterinary medicine is not a solo sport. It's built on teams, on partnerships, showing up for people, not just in the good moments, but also in the hard ones. I can guarantee your best memories in clinics will come from the most unexpected places. So for me, I want to share one of my favorite stories from clinical year, because this is one of my most unexpected things. I'm a big cat person, so first of all, it was really unusual to have a dog that touched my life in this way. But my first moment was this beagle named Derby. Derby came to us on my first day of small animal surgery, and small animal surgery was one of my first rotations that I had when I was in clinics. Derby needed a hemilaminectomy, which means he had had one of his discs slip, and he stayed with me for the entire rotation. I picked him up the first day. I was with him through recovery, through rehab, through late night check-ins, all of it. On my last day, his owners brought me a gift card, and while I really appreciate that Starbucks gift card, it wasn't the gift that mattered to me most. It was the fact that they saw me. They saw that I cared about Derby. They appreciated my growth as a doctor and commented that they could see it happen through those 2 weeks, and that they were really proud to be a part of my journey in becoming a doctor. And for many years following my graduation, we exchanged holiday cards. They would send updates on their kids, on Derby, on life, and Derby and his family became a part of my community. So that's what makes this profession so meaningful, is that community comes with so many different places. It can be your clients and it can be your cases. The medicine matters, but it's the relationships that will carry you and continue on. So be open to the connections in your rotations with your clients, with your technicians, with your attendings, with your residents, interns, house officers, and each other. That will be most important, is to keep on connecting with each other. So wherever you're headed, if it's to the great Arctic tundra of Minnesota, Florida, Cornell, Kansas, or anywhere else in between, I guarantee you're ready. You've already proved that you can adapt. You made it through this. That you can rise to meet the challenges, and that you belong in this profession. Like, I know it. You guys are going to kick butt. So take that deep breath. Please take this moment in. This is such a special moment. And you're about to take the next big step on your journey, and you're, like I said, you're more than ready for it. So congratulations, Red Sheepies of the class of 2026. I can't wait to see the veterinarians that you become. I watch all of the things in Miami, the graduations. And if you come to Minnesota, my advice for you, if you're not Canadian, is pack a warm coat and know that my door is always open. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you, Dr. Burton. Our next speaker this evening is Dr. Pompey Bolfa. Dr. Bolfa received his DVM degree in 2004 from the University of Agriculture and Veterinary Medicine, Cluj-Napoca, Romania, and joined Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine in March 2014. He worked for 3 years in a mixed practice in Romania. During a PhD in equine infectious diseases, he began teaching infectious diseases at the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine in Cluj-Napoca. He then moved to a full-time pathology teaching position and started training for the Veterinary Anatomic Pathology Board exam, which he successfully completed in 2016, becoming a diplomat of the American College of Veterinary Pathologists. Dr. Bolfa is passionate about pathology, teaching, and standardization of tumor reporting in veterinary medicine. In research, his main interests are comparative pathology, veterinary pathology, viral diseases, and comparative oncology. He serves as a board member and seminar coordinator of Veterinary Cancer Guidelines and Protocols Group, as well as a board member of the European Society of Veterinary Pathology. Currently, he is head of the Biomedical Sciences Department at Ross, and he is also involved with several committees of the American College of Veterinary Pathologists and is part of the editorial team for the new edition of Tumors of Domestic Animals. Please help me welcome Fratello Mew, the incredibly irresistible Dr. Bolfa.
Good evening, Red Sheepies. First and foremost, I want to say how lovely you look, how great you look. Feels like a special occasion indeed, and I'm happy to see your smiley faces here tonight. Then, I want to say that it's hard to be the last one to talk. These guys stole some of my ideas, so we'll see how I can pack it nicely still. It's incredible how small the world is, and I remember when I was preparing for boards, we crossed paths with Erin briefly. I had no idea who she was back then, but we were both stressed trying to sit the boards. And fun fact, our MC tonight, the greatest surgeon from St. Kitts, Dr. Betance, and me share something in common. And you have seen that he's pretty, good with public speaking and, jokes and everything. So I think he has some Romanian genes in there. So in any case, once again, good afternoon, and it's an honor to be here. Thank you for the invitation. Of course, when they invite you here, they don't give you a script what you're supposed to talk about, so let me try. And what an incredible milestone you're celebrating today. To you, all of you students, soon to be clinicians in the room, congratulations. Congratulations on completing 7 semesters of intense, transformative work. You've made it through histology, pharmacology, SOAPs, SAMs, surgery, and yes, pathology as well. And you're still standing. The fact that you survived pathology alone deserves a round of applause. Now you're heading into clinics, the real-world arena. It's exciting, it's fast-paced, and sometimes, let's be honest, it's a little terrifying. You're going to walk into cases where the diagnosis doesn't leap off the page, where a client's emotion clouds the clinical picture, or where your gut tells you something that your notes never covered. It's okay. You got this. And we all go through this. I have to confess that I look at many of my cases as lessons. I learned that every time there can be a new angle that keeps or helps solving the puzzle. Open the books, ask your peers, be curious. This is how you grow. This is your moment where your roots matter. You build these roots here, in this campus, in the labs, during rounds, during dry or wet days, and even in those 2 a.m. study sessions, where you maybe had a coffee in one hand and your study guide in the other one. Deep, solid roots. And they're going to hold you steady when the wind starts blowing. Now, since I'm a pathologist, I'll be remiss not to mention something near and dear to my heart. When you find yourself scratching your heads in the clinics, remember this: pathology is your friend. Behind every odd swelling, every mysterious fever, every I have no idea what's going on here case, there's a pathological process. And the pathogenesis quietly at work is the foundation of the story. When in doubt, and the client affords it, get a sample, biopsy, cytology, histopath. Let pathology help you make sense of that puzzle. That said, even with all the roots and training you've acquired, you might still find yourself doubting your abilities. That little voice, imposter syndrome, whispers, do I belong here? Let me answer right now. Yes, you do. Everyone feels it. But confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing where to look, asking good questions, and having the humility to say, I don't know, but I'll find out. This is the mark of a true professional. Just this week, a former student and now a friend wrote to me, and this is something she said, quote, there's a young Rossi doing an externship with us. It's weird being the mentor to a mentee, haha. Be ready to be asked questions and be seen as the senior. Be humble about it and remember how it felt when you started here and maybe you were intimidated by someone in the 7th semester. You're also stepping into a field that demands not just intellectual rigor, but emotional resilience. Vet medicine, for all its wonder, can be heavy. We deal with loss, with suffering, with a way of responsibility. So please take care of yourselves. Talk to someone, build your support system. Remember that burnout doesn't just happen to other people. I would say eat well, sleep well, socialize, and exercise. And most importantly, as Dr. Suarez said, do something that makes you happy every day. Here's a little anecdote I like to share. A few years ago, I asked Rossi how she was managing her stress. She smiled and said, well, I either cry, run, or bake bread. sometimes all three in one day. I said, this sounds like the perfect wellness plan. Carry on. So whatever your version of crying, running, or baking is, embrace it. You can't pour from an empty cup. As you step into this next chapter, know that you are prepared, you are capable, and you are needed. We are proud of you, not just for what you've achieved, but for who you've become. And we cannot wait to see the doctors you're about to be. Thank you for listening, and good luck out there.
Thank you, Dr. Bolfa. So now I'd like to invite to the podium Red Semester's class representatives, Pam Gonzalez and Regan Zutel.
All right. Hi, everyone. Happy Placement Day. Oof, I can't believe we're here. At first, I thought it was wild to see us in green scrubs practicing for our surgical skills in 6th. Now we're in 7th, hiking up the LATF hill together at 7 a.m. to care for our surgery lab patients. It's so exciting, and I'm so proud of us. We owe a gigantic thank you to our friends and family. You have been cheering us on and hearing us vent about our stress for the past 2 years. We couldn't have done it without you. We have made lifelong friends here. We've shared countless beach days, catamaran trips, and casino nights together. We've leaned on each other during the holidays like the 4th of July and Thanksgiving, helping to ease the homesickness. These are the people who sit next to us in class, making lectures even more enjoyable, and the ones we hunker down with for final season. They're also the same friends who come to your rescue when your tire pops, more than once in a day. I knew I'd make a few friends in vet school, but I didn't expect to become a part of an island family. We have all come to know each other much more as each semester has gone on. I'm sure you can agree with me when I say we have an incredible class. Everyone is intelligent, kind, hardworking, and supportive of one another. It has been amazing going through this program surrounded by people I admire. Since we arrived here at Ross, we have held on to the mystery as to which clinical school we would be placed in. And today is finally the day! It is going to be bittersweet finding out how far apart our island family will be. But it will be okay, at least that's what I tell myself. It's only a matter of time before we reunite as doctors. While our clinical schools have been unknown for some time, one thing is for certain. We will shine in clinics. No matter where we go, we will live up to the Rossi name. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. All right, so I hope you are all able to just sit there and appreciate what I'm about to say. To start off, I want to say thank you to everyone who has contributed to the celebration of our class's journey, from our brilliant and passionate professors who have meticulously trained us over the last 2 years, to the school for organizing this event, and most certainly, I want to thank our friends and family in the audience, both here in person and online. Those people who supported us and encouraged us allowed us to take a crazy leap of faith right onto a tropical island, surrounded by beautiful beaches and filled with monkeys and pina coladas. And while we certainly made that jump look easy, I assure you there was plenty of turbulence. From visa paperwork to a messy class group chat many of us had already muted before getting here. We faced challenges from day one, but it was with a passion for veterinary medicine, a lot of hope, and probably too many suitcases, we strolled onto a foreign tarmac and began to braid our lives together. In this first semester, our hardest lessons forged our strongest bonds. Some of those lessons presented with innocent names, like dog walking and DOPS, while the wickedness of others were clear as day, like forelimb practical. As we learned, We developed from a group of highly intelligent individuals into a unified cohort capable of practicing veterinary medicine together. A semester later, our lessons continued, claiming more of us than anyone could have anticipated. Yet still, the island wormed its way into our heart, becoming a home, as our schedule filled with worms, puberty, cytokines, and the hind limb. Our middle semesters then saw time fly, as the trenches of an overwhelming final season reduced to nothing more than flashbacks from a war that we survived. And we survived to see the great sheepy debate of fourth semester. A vote that I thought would divide our class forever, but instead brought us closer together. Then, in a blink of an eye, we were uppers, showing the VEA what Rossi resilience means, and gowning and gloving our way into the Green Scrub Club, where we finally got a handle on our financial situation and brought back a Rossi tradition with Mr. Ross. Shout out to Cassidy for spearheading that. Woo! Now, after years of hard work and sacrifice, we are ready to take another leap forward. As we sit here, many of us riding the high of our first surgeries, there is nothing that can rain on our parade. Not the first soaping morning, not the golden hour sunset photo, not even an almost hurricane final is going to bring us down, because we are so close to going home as baby doctors. So finally, I want to thank you, my classmates, my fellow guinea pig sheepies, for allowing me to represent you over these last 7 semesters. It has been an absolute privilege to represent a group of individuals overflowing with empathy, intelligence, and kindness. Even with new curriculum changes every semester, you have been the ideal class to represent. I know that as we embark into a divided world, we will enter not only as amazing doctors, but as good people who know what it means to stand up for positive change. So I eagerly anticipate the lives ahead of us with hopes that we will all work to both heal animals and for the betterment of humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam and Reagan. We're getting closer. Okay, what I'd like to do now is introduce Dr. Erica Little and then ask her to step up to the podium. Dr. Little is the Associate Dean for Clinical Affairs and Professional Opportunities and is an Associate Professor of Large Animal Surgery right here at Ross University. Originally from the San Francisco Bay Area, she completed her Bachelor of Science degree in Equine Science at Colorado State University and her DVM degree from Kansas State University. Upon graduation, Dr. Little joined a mixed animal practice in Wyoming prior to returning to Kansas to pursue an equine internship, followed by a large animal surgical residency and Master of Science degree at Auburn University. She is a board-certified equine surgeon and practiced in Nevada from 2007 until 2013, returning to teach large animal surgery at Ross University. In 2020, Dr. Little successfully completed her MBA. While at Ross University, she has served as the Assistant Dean for Admissions and as SAVMA Faculty Advisor. In her spare time, she enjoys traveling, scuba diving, skiing, hiking, and may I also mention she's an avid kickboxer. Please help me welcome Dr. Erica Little.
Thank you, Dr. Butance. Good evening, Red Sheepies. And yes, I have to admit I did double check with Avenel to make sure that was correct. But it's growing on me. You guys look so great. Also, I'm surprised that there's so many of you. Who knew? So, also, I guess my list did say that, right? But so we're getting closer, like Dr. Batant said. Only about an hour, hour and a half left to go, and you can open your envelopes. Maybe an hour. We'll get there. But if anybody wants to know, if there's anybody who really wants to know before this next 45 minutes to an hour, I asked them to queue up a picture of a particularly complicated wound. And if you can walk me through that management, you can open that envelope sooner. Any takers? Yeah, they're all ready for Monday. All right, I like it. I'm just kidding. But I feel like we're torturing you at this point. A few more speakers to go. So actually what we're going to do first is we're going to run through a few logistics in an attempt to have a plan. Best laid plans, right? And so we'll do a toast, all right? And then after the toast, we will do a little countdown from 100. And then after that, we can open our envelopes. Now here's where chaos ensues. After you open your envelopes, we'll give you a few minutes to celebrate. The definition of a few is 3, okay, in case there's confusion. So we'll give you a few minutes to celebrate. I'll come back up and I will ask you to sit back down. An hour later, you'll sit back down. No, so just a few minutes, come sit back down and we'll reconvene and then we'll announce you all by your affiliate. And I'll go through a few more logistics at that point. But that way, all of your friends and families that are here with you in the audience, as well as everybody back home, can see you announced and see your new crew that you will be going to your affiliates with. All right? Fair? All right, give us a second. We'll get ready for the toast. All right. Are you ready? I see most of you still have liquid left in your cups, so that's good. I'm going to call that a win. All righty. So, Red Sheepies, congratulations on making it all the way to your 7th semester. We talked today about how short and long it's been of a journey thus far. You are so close to getting to your clinical year, just 12 pesky weeks and a few more quizzes to go. So congratulations to you all. Cheers. Okay, are you ready for the countdown? Is everybody good and sweaty? A little nervous? Okay, so 99, 98, just kidding. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys. Let's bring it back. Okay, everybody, if you can take your seats and we can move on and start making the announcements for the affiliates, as well as your classmates who are going there. Thank you. Because this one's new and nobody knows about it. But it was I didn't tell you all that. Everything worked out fine.
No, you did tell me about it.
I did? But I ended up putting 2 there. I figured I should leave it. All right, congratulations, Red Sheepies. So, next steps. This is what we're gonna do. Now that the stress is over, right? You can breathe again, I hope. So, what I'd like to do is call your names by your affiliates, have you stand when I call your name with your letter, and remain standing until I call the school again, your affiliate again, at which point you can sit back down. I'm going to ask the audience to please hold your applause until everybody for that affiliate is standing so that everybody can hear their name. All right? So just because I feel like changing it up today, we're going to start with the University of Wisconsin. All right. Rhoda Bamiero Unciano. Please stand. You guys are so good at this. Isabella Miracapili. Madison Perry. Welcome to Wisconsin. All right, next up, Virginia Tech. Mary Alandi. Timothy Kitts. Congratulations, Virginia Tech. All right, Texas A&M University. Christian Dijon. Christian Holtz. Sean Parker. And Erica Sweet. Congratulations, Texas. All right. Purdue University. Cassandra Segaris. Manuel Dubuque Ortiz. Alexis Egan. Logan Forrest. Luvina Kwong. Jennifer Perdue. Laura Tomayo. Congratulations, Purdue. All right, moving out of the United States, we're going up to Canada to Ontario Veterinary College. Guelph. Nina Chan. Courtney Piercy. Congratulations, OVC in Guelph. All right, next up is Oklahoma State University. Kelly Scanlon. Vanessa Alarcon Salgado. Paula Rivera Rodriguez. Samantha Ramirez. Paula Lopez Mendez. Taylor Hofstetler. Aubrey Hildebrand. Mary Cox. Grace Cooper. Marissa Cleary. Milton Banch Negron. Alisa Amin. Andrea Carrasquillo. Congratulations, Oklahoma. All right, The Ohio State University. Elizabeth Thomas. Rachel Senft. Alexandra Safarian. Kayla Kuntzman. Hannah Johnson. Alexandra Hechtman. And Catherine Gahn. Congratulations, Ohio. All right, next up is North Carolina State University. Kelsey Waxter. Katerina Silver. Keegan Olson. Shannon O'Brien. Gabriela Luises. Samuel Laserson. Courtney Lamoro. Congratulations, NC State. Once again leaving the U.S., going across some oceans this time to Murdoch University in Australia. Thomas Ramirez Cairo. Marucha Bengoa Feliciano. Congratulations, Murdoch. I'll come visit. I'll visit. And I have one honorary placement member who has actually started her clinical year this May. So she is not here this evening, but at the University of Missouri is Leah Schumacher, who's just started. Congratulations, Leah. All right. University of Minnesota. Samantha Young. Stephanie Stuckwish. Tori Simfenderfer. Kathleen Martinez. Sherry Go. Eric Garcia. Colleen Cross. Victoria Bielik. Congratulations, Minnesota. Staying north this time to Michigan State University. Vienna Oswald. Tyler Loiza. Araceli Gonzalez. Andrew Curtis. Congratulations, Michigan. Louisiana State University. Vanessa Vedrova. Daniel Smith. Audrey Shermer. Adriana Rodriguez Mora. Ricardo Rivera. Geshini Pereira. Astrid Mejias Infante. Migdalia Medina Quinones. Tatiana Linares Cardona. Jessica Lestarzik Williams. Claire Iliescu. Hannah Greenday. Caitlin Gonzalez. Talia Diaz Rosa. Lourdes Delgado Ruiz. Congratulations, LSU. All right, going across oceans one more time to University of Liverpool. Hannah Bickham. Sarah Johnson. Catherine Waters. Ashley Young. Congratulations, Liverpool. Kansas State University. Alexa Brown. Casiana Little. Cassidy Mahoney. Congratulations, K-State. Iowa State University. Shayla Terrialt. Alexis Dahersky. Destiny Keaton. Anna Godwin. Hannah Duffy. Ava Dotson. Melinda Clark. Congratulations, Iowa. University of Illinois. Shanice Morrison. Skylar Langley. Jennifer Iturralde. Margot Forti. Sardona Fong. Congratulations, Illinois. All right, University of Florida. Pamela Gonzalez. Samantha Goodwin. Ormond Grice. Abby Jorsey. Lilia Rodriguez. Yuri Rupert. Reagan Zutel. Congratulations, Florida. Cornell University. John Gross. Megan Burmy. Kenza Mudari Alui. Congratulations, Cornell. Colorado State University. Ellie Oravets. Kennedy Nevakosi. Sierra Michael. Lauren Meredith. Kimberly Eccles. Sydney Anderson. Jason Amsterdam. Congratulations, Colorado State. All right, one more time north of the border at the Atlantic Veterinary College, University of Prince Edward Island. Haronisa Pollitt. Megan Cunerty. Congratulations, ABC. Congratulations, everybody. Okay, so now the real fun begins. And so now I'm going to send you out by affiliate name. So when I call your affiliate, gather your things. But before you do, please make sure you take the goodie bag from Dr. Suarez and Banfield, because she was able to get you guys a surgical hat from Carabelle Boutique that's embroidered with class of 2026 and a sheepy. So don't forget it. They're so cute. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure you don't forget those things. All right, so this is what's going to happen. Dr. Batance is going to head to the center between lower and upper odd. Follow his as he walks with your eyeballs. And so when I call your affiliate, you'll get up and you'll go find Dr. Batance, and he will send you back across in front of the camera and then up the back stairs to leave upper odd to go outside to have your picture taken with your cohort. Okay, so please follow. They'll give you some instructions. Dr. Karnick, I would like to ask you to be on crowd control. Mom, dad, brothers, sisters, extended family, friends, everybody who is here in our audience, please remain seated until the lower auditorium and all students have been excused so that they can make it through those small doors back there. So when I call your name, when I call your affiliate's name, you'll get up, you'll go to Dr. Bertans, he'll guide you so you can show your papers to the camera for everybody watching back home, and then you'll head out. It's a lot, I know, but I think we can do it. But before we start dismissing everybody, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who helped put this on tonight. I want to thank Pawpaw for their catering services, for the food and snacks that are awaiting you outside for our students. All right, so thank you so much, as well as for your champagne, orange juice, water, etc., that you had in front of you this evening. I would also like to extend our gratitude to Banfield Pet Hospitals for sponsoring tonight's placement. Without them, this could not be possible. So thank you, Dr. Suarez and Banfield. And I would like to thank Dr. Burton for flying all the way down from Minnesota when it's probably actually now good weather. I should make her come in January. So for participating tonight and sharing her words of wisdom with you. Thank you, Dr. Burton. I would also like to thank the Ross University IT staff, as well as our photographers that are here tonight, for you all making sure all of this goes off and that the microphone works, because we all know I can't make it go, as evidenced by my lectures this week. And without fail, I also would really like to thank Avenel for all of her efforts to put this whole thing together. Make sure you all have all your things in front of you. Make sure we've done all the things on our end and herd everybody. It's like herding cats to try to run us around. So for managing this for us. So thank you, Avenel, as well. Okay, so without further ado, it's time for the photo op. All right, so let's go front to back since he went back to front to start, shall we? So Atlantic Veterinary College, PEI. If you guys can gather your things and go find Dr. Batance, and then he'll help you from there. I threw you for a loop, didn't I? You thought I was going to go from the back. That's okay, you have time. Come back. There you go. All right, Colorado State University. Please go find Dr. Batance. Cornell University. University of Florida. University of Illinois. Iowa State University. Kansas State University. University of Liverpool. Louisiana State University. Michigan State University. University of Minnesota. Murdoch University. North Carolina State University. Ohio State University. Oklahoma State University. Ontario Veterinary College, Guelph. Purdue University. Texas A&M University. Virginia Tech. And University of Wisconsin. Congratulations, Red Semester, class of 2026, on your placement this evening. This concludes our May semester placement ceremony. Thank you all for coming and for flying so far for those who are here, and thank you for those at home for watching. Have a good evening.